Congratulations and felicitations.
Okay, here comes the first round.
Boom. And
Jeez, that was just
boom.
unnecessary.
You kidding me? You can't be out of range? What?
Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. You're all of the Appian way here, and I already can't believe what I'm seeing. But here it comes. I haven't watched it yet. This is a pure reaction to a Total War Saga Troy Mythos announcement trailer. I'm already so pleased.
The gods send us labors.
Hector? Maybe? Labors. Okay.
And the promise of favor.
Herculean labors?
Riches and glory. But
Yes! There it is. Okay.
only
I believe now. It's not weather balloons. It takes monsters to save CA's attempt at this game. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just know that's what the Reddit's gonna say. Oh gosh, yeah, Poseidon. Yeah, it looks like they're also redoing the Cyclops, the Centaurs, all of it. But give us some gameplay footage. Oh, that looks like a whole new culture there. Hold up a minute. Okay, that's good for sense of scale.
for Troy!
Okay, so it is still in the context of Troy. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's break this down. That's totally Hector. It's already tearing somebody in half. Love it. Okay. I'm honestly, it looks like they're not just going to reskin, or I'm sorry, port everything from Warhammer over. I'm glad that we're getting new models here, but at least new artistic design here. Okay, so the Cerberus is breathing fire. That's cool. Okay. So if you didn't know, that's Poseidon, god of the sea. Probably about to go ahead and share all of his anger all over the walls of Troy. So yeah, definitely Cyclops. I feel like there's nothing really to point out here. I mean, there is this to say. The Cyclops looks like he's been taking some steroids. All right. And he got that eye surgery he was looking for. He's got a new club. I mean, it's bigger. Defo bigger. Yeah, so also Centaurs side by side with some Trojans here, so there's still very much the team thing here rather than it being like a whole new faction. I doubt we're gonna get like a Centaur faction out of all this. But there is something that interested me here. This dude needs, he needs to be wearing more. It looks like he just like sacrificed something. Okay, this looks like the result of a ritual because he's got like green blood dripping from his mouth. I'm assuming he did something to summon the Hydra. Maybe it'll work like Green Knight. Summon it for like 10 turns in your campaign. Giants, maybe? Alright, no, this is what really interested me. This looks like a whole brand new culture, right? Like, I'm wondering... So they're calling this Troy Mythos. I'm going to scroll down a bit and read some of this here. It says, the battle for Troy cannot be waged by man alone. A winged behemoth, a slithering serpent with many heads, and a beast prowling the abyss. Track them, harness them, and turn the tide of war in the Mythos DLC. Okay, alright, I'm wondering if they're also adding them in, like, a context of you have not just mythical creatures, but also the option to play without them, but still have some new units, because this, down here, these dudes, that's new. That's totally new. Haven't seen this in Troy at all. At all. New culture, new faction, maybe. That's what's really got my attention here. Hold up a second. Harpies? Because that, you might have noticed, that's definitely not the silhouette of a Griffon. I think we're looking at Harpies here. Alright, so yeah, we definitely got the Griffon, we got the Hydra, we got Cerberus pretty much as the community anticipated, and it looks like we're also looking at new versions of all of the previous mythical creatures that we got. So things we haven't seen yet would be Minotaur, Warriors of Artemis, I don't know that they'll change those too much. I think we got a peek at some of the giants in there. Didn't see anything about sirens. Okay. I'm gonna pause this real quick. And I'm gonna be back once I take a look at the Steam page. Okay, here we go. Let's just read through the news together, shall we? This is the Troy Mythos FAQ. Mythos is the latest and greatest DLC expansion for Saga Troy. Entirely new campaign game mode, which adds mythical monsters, quests to capture them, divine powers, much more in ancient world. I'm excited because that's pretty much exactly what Total Warhead and I were thinking was going to happen if they were to bring in the Mythos instead of it just being weather balloons, like I was saying yesterday. These represent the beliefs and legends of the ancient peoples, brought to life to see who would master the battlefield. The Lernian Hydra, the Griffon Patriarch, and Mighty Cerberus. Hold on. These are clickable, so I'm going to open these up in new tabs. Boom, boom. Okay. They await heroes and leaders brave or foolhardy enough to seek their assistance. With enough guile, wit, and battle skill, you can bring them to your service, and with them will come their legions of followers, special abilities, and new gameplay opportunities. Okay, so those troops that were next to the Griffin, those would probably be the legions of followers. In addition, units and concepts previously depicted with their real-world equivalents, such as Harpies, Centaurs, Cyclops, and more, have been reimagined as their mythical counterparts. The Divine Will system is expanded, allowing you to take control of the thunderbolts of Zeus himself, or the epic tides of Poseidon. Yes! Yes! Okay, so we're getting a little bit of, like, calling down spells here, and this is definitely a screenshot. That's definitely a screenshot. So, whoa. So this isn't a historical game anymore? It never was. I know they said that the Saga tag was meant for historical titles, but they had already gone and picked out something where we only have fantasy as a source, right? Homer was not telling history. It was a myth. So, I mean, yes, there may have been a Troy and there may have been a Trojan War. There's a lot of evidence that points that way, but it was never a historical title to begin with. Okay, so on the contrary, as part of the free update that will launch alongside Troy Mythos, we are introducing a dedicated, historically authentic mode called No Prizes for Guessing Historical Mode. This will not only not have access to the creatures and features of the new mythological mode, but also replace powerful single-entity units and make other choices from the truth behind the myth mode that sits between the two, and will also still be available for play. We'll talk more about this in the near... 3 modes? What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright. So they're taking out, like, the power of Achilles and Aeneas and Cyclops and Minotaur as we already know it to create the historical mode where it's going to be just troops. So they've literally baked into this something for everyone. Remember that. I can already feel people going, oh man, I can't believe they added myth, and other people going, oh man, I can't believe they're abandoning history. Come together. Join us as one. Celebrate Troy. Okay. So yeah, it's coming out Thursday, September 2nd. We knew that at the same time that this trailer dropped today, which is going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How much will it cost? Okay. Mythos is available on the Epic Games Store for $24.99 right now, no pre-order bonus. That's pricey for a DLC. That's pretty pricey for a DLC. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I guess they're adding 2 entire campaign modes here with new content. Okay. It says it's available for pre-order on the Epic Games Store. Is it going to be free on Steam? After you put it on the Epic Games Store for a year now. That's correct. So we're also launching Troy on Steam at the same time, along with all of its DLC. You can read all about that in the Troy on Steam FAQ. I'm going to put that over there. The short version is that the 2 versions will be in complete parity with each other now and forever. Okay. 3 mythical monsters will be available in Troy: Hydra, Griffon, Cerberus. Yeah, each has their own set of associated units, buildings, in battle, and on map slash abilities and other bits. Oh wait, that's a screenshot. Holy cow! Look at the tentacle hair. What? All right, moving on. Those champions of Troy here never had a chance. All right. Each has their own set of associated units, buildings, in battle, and on-map special abilities, and other bits and pieces depending on which you recruit. That is a task in itself. Each beast requires a great quest on your part, dispatching a hero and his troops to find evidence of, track down, and eventually fight and recruit the great beast. Yes, absolutely. That is very, very true to Greek myth. This is a mythic expedition, and only one can be attempted per campaign, so choose wisely. You might have to pick a very specific hero to undertake the task. Maybe alone. That'd be pretty cool, though. As part of this mythic expedition, your troops will face 5 dilemmas you'll need to resolve, preparing your army for the final confrontation. Alright, so it is still an army focused rather than like an individual hero focus. When you eventually track down and begin the final phase of the hunt, a mighty battle will take place with you taking control of the monster if you win. The cost is that this army is otherwise occupied for its entire journey and will not be able to help you in the defense of your lands or your conquests. When you can afford to do so is up to you. Once you have finished a mythic expedition, your monster of choice will act as an agent on the map, capable of carrying out various special actions as well as joining armies to fight as a powerful unit. Your campaign antagonist will also be able to obtain their own mythic monster, and they will do so before you if you leave it too long. Make your choices carefully. Look at that Cyclopsy lad. What a bean. What else has changed in the mythological mode? There's a large number of other changes, gameplay and visual. We've updated battle maps and campaign map to bring gods of ancient Greece closer, quite literally. Their faces now appearing in the skies above your engagements. They can also have a much stronger presence on the battlefield, lending you their aid if you have managed to suitably impress them in the form of unique abilities to destroy your enemies or make your troops into colossi, figuratively speaking. Oh, okay. Cool. Units you may be familiar with, such as centaurs, minotaurs, and harpies, among others, also have been redesigned and upgraded into their actual monstrous counterparts. Expect flight and other special abilities. Yes. Free LC. Historical mode. We're also reworking the supply line system into an administration system for all 3 modes. This involves a new pooled resource administration burden. Each hero unit and settlement has a defined amount of administration burden. Units have different amounts based on their tier. The stronger a unit is, the more burden they cost. And the same is true of settlements. Heroes also have a cost, while epic heroes are cheaper. They're reworking supply lines, so this burden replaces supply lines. Alright, just as long as I don't have to track another dang thing to recruit my armies. The more burden a player has, the more negative effects are unlocked, but in return, royal decrees and influence will be gained faster. Oh, okay. The costs for recruitment and upkeep go higher and are broken down by resource. Food costs are the first to go up, followed by bronze and gold. We didn't want it to purely feel bad that you were growing your armies, hence the benefits to royal decrees and influence from being a large and powerful empire. Okay, I appreciate that. Our general goals here were to allow for different variations of play. Smaller armies don't punish you any harder than a few massive ones, as well as lower the impact of hiring heroes so it doesn't lead to immediate massive spikes in prices. It should feel fairer and less impactful overall, while still being something you feel the need to manage or make decisions based on. We're looking forward to feedback on it. Cool. So it looks like there's going to be like a sweet spot for the size of your lands and the number of armies that you field, or I guess the number of troops and heroes in it. The free update will also be adding achievements to both Epic and Steam versions of the game, as well as the usual pass of bug fixing and balance tweaks, which I'm hoping they've taken a look at the balance assembly work that we've done. Okay, full details on all of these will be in the patch notes due the week of launch. Cool. What does historical mode change? We'll have the full details in a dedicated blog post closer to release, but the intent is to strip back on mythical elements such as single entity units, battlefield defining special abilities, and the like. The game will still be fun, blah blah. But there's also a more accurate representation of Bronze Age warfare between armies of the time. No names are heroic figures, but not titans of endless strength and endurance. Eventually, it'll be completely optional mode, and the classic droid Truth Behind the Myth mode will still be available. Really cool. We got 2 new campaign modes. Here we go, the Lernian Hydra. Was one of Hercules' labors. Even so, one of Hydra's heads is truly immortal, so it was buried under a massive rock, consigned to oblivion. Yes, but... Battle abilities. Here we go. Regeneration. Okay. Poison. A poison bomb, a long-range small explosive spit that affects everything in its radius. A breath attack as well. Virulent blood. Even attacking the Hydra is not safe. Its blood will destroy armor and infect them as they swing. Hydra exists to simply spread its ruinous legacy no matter the cost. Yeah, this is a wrecking ball. You throw it out there, it prefers to rain death from afar, as do some of her fanatical cultists, There are more pieces of itself than human beings. Ones used to hold the front line are either tough and self-regenerating or capable of weakening the enemy even with their own deaths by literally bleeding poison on them. The poisonous powers can even be conferred to regular units, albeit at the cost of vitality. Vitality is a measurement of the Hydra's power, fed by battle or your own forces, can be spent on various buffs for buildings or armies, or simply kept to make the Hydra a true terror. 4 buildings, 1 for each of the Hydra's cultist units. 4 buildings for these? These are extremely expensive and powerful and difficult to build. Hydra's power can make things easier. 4 buildings for the new units? I'm hoping that means there's more than just 4 units. A unique stance for the Hydra army, which generated vitality in exchange for putting the host army into attrition. Why? Who could say? Ritual and agent action of the Hydra that exchanges vitality for a massive boost to building its unique structures. Okay, that feeds back into the new buildings. Post-battle options, as well as feeding enemies to the Hydra, newly conquered settlements can be infused with its power to reduce the cost of Hydra buildings. So you can play whatever faction you want, and then just choose to be the Hydra faction by the looks of it. Good lord. Here we go, unique units. The Drinkers of Venom. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely the picture of that guy that I was looking at. That makes sense. The cursed Lernians sought and found the burial place of its mortal head. They knew that they should eat from its flesh and drink from its blood so it may consume them. Okay, now they're rumbling and seeking to spread the Hydra's ruinous domain. So we're not getting details about the units. We've got some archers here. Poison arrows. Great support for a rampaging Hydra. Oh, look at these bidents and spears. Those are gnarly. The Hydra defenders. Their large amount of health and heavy armor and defenses make them tough to clear off the battlefield. That's so cool. And a Hydra priest. Trading battle prowess for the mystical powers the drinking of venom is brought. Oh my gosh, there's more. Okay. The Hydra is life-draining force of nature. The more one rushes headlong into the Hydra's poison-dripping maws, the more likely it is they will never even reach it. Best serves a hero who looks to outlast their opponent. When your enemies are melting inside their armor, time is always on your side. Mythic Expedition for the Resurrected Hydra will take you through the swamps of Lerna, deep into the domain of the monster's fledgling cult. The deeper you go, the more you'll ask yourself, have you also answered a call? Cool. So let's take a peek at the Griffon. So, flight. Griffon relationships with humans are complicated. Those that believe in their existence at all are more taken in by tales of the vast amounts of gold that griffins bring back from the threshold of the underworld, and some insist they feed the nuggets to their young. Appropriately, some people consider it a waste of perfectly good gold and take care to redress it. The only ones that are capable of this, however, are the Aeneas, a tribe that shares the lands of the Griffins. The only ones the Griffins are willing to coexist with, albeit in a state of unrelenting rivalry. Yeah, that was pointed out in Greek myth to me. Bronze feathers. The wings are solid shields as much as they are tools of flight. Wow. Armor bonuses, resistances. Soft underbelly is vulnerable to arrow fire while in flight. So if it's on the ground, it's less vulnerable to arrow fire than when it's in flight. Warhammer needs to pick that one up. That's a good one. Savage Gust. A flap of those wings can create an incredible wind. Okay, so it's got a breath attack. Rallying Screech. Okay, it boosts morale. Flight. It can fly quickly across the battlefield, making it a devastating flanker and surprise attacker. But when it does so, it's vulnerable to archer fire, which is going to make skirmishers more valuable in, at least in the Mythos mode. You have to manage the harmony between Griffins and Aeneas. Harmony is relatively well preserved. Certain specially tailored advantages are made available to you. Griffins depend on their incredible maneuverability, though they could strain one's gold economy. The Aeneas, on the other hand, are avaricious enough to improve gold mining and are the only combat units in the game that are not only immune to the effects of rough terrain, they are even stronger on it. Okay, cool. I'm liking what I see here. So the harmony is a balance that you're going to have to maintain between the Griffins, the Griffin Patriarch, and the Aeneas. Strengthening their alliance means any army with both units is more powerful. Okay. Griffin Eyrie and Aeneas camp, unique buildings. They increase unit caps. You can build them in major or gold settlements. Okay. I like this. I like this. The Griffin Primarch's army can enter the stance prepping for the next turn. On that following turn, they have additional vision and campaign movement range, as well as a massively increased chance to ambush enemies they attack. Okay. Post-battle options, you can feed the Griffins. It will provide experience while preparing a conquered settlement for nesting, will decrease the cost of Griffin buildings. The Griffin Patriarch can search for its young or feed them as unique agent actions. This provides various bonuses, as well as moving the Harmony Bar in either direction. Ettermaspoi Hunters, there we go, that's the unit I was definitely looking at in the trailer. Over the far north, they share a strange mixture of kinship and fierce rivalry. Scythians, expertly roaming the wilderness around the Cave of Boreas, the Northern Wind. Uncanny enough, one-eyed and yet sharper-sighted than any normal human. They removed an eye. They decorate their weapons and armor with gold plucked from the Griffin's nest and feathers plucked from the Griffins themselves. Even their speech emulates the harsh clipped cries of the winged beasts they battle. They claim the gold carries pieces of their kinsmen's souls are claimed by the Griffins from the threshold of the underworld. Ettermaspoi Spearmen, two-handed spears, slower than their compatriots, but otherwise more hardy and more threatening. I mean, they better work on making two-handed spear charging units more threatening, because right now shielded spear units are better if they can just put their shield on their back. Ettermaspoi Skirmishers looks like a Jav Cav. Like all of our Maspoi, they benefit from their expert monster hunting training and are hardy soldiers in any sort of battle. Okay. Jav Cav we haven't seen much success with yet in Troy. So maybe these will be better, who knows. And a lesser Griffin. Oh, it's adorable! Look at you! Sorry, buddy. The Griffin is among the most noble and liminal mythological beasts, incorporating into itself the animal kings of both land and air, as well as evoking the invisible threads between earth and sky. More pragmatically, it has long been known among savvy treasure hunters throughout the ancient world that wherever griffins are, there is gold as well. No one knows how the griffins find it, and some insist they feed the nuggets to their young. Appropriately, these people consider it a waste of perfectly good gold and take care to redress it, blah blah blah. On the battlefield, both of the Griffins flying and the Ettermaspoi's extreme skill on any terrain, the hero is empowered as a tactical master, flanking the enemy from any direction, even from above. I like that. They get buffs in terrain. Awesome. Mythic expedition for the Griffin Patriarch will take you to the boundaries of the known world, a grueling journey into unknown lands and a challenge at the end of it where the foe is completely at ease on the battlefield as you are not. Let's go check out the Cerberus, Gates of the Underworld, Specialty Death. Brother to the Hydra, son of Typhon himself. It is said the Cerberus is in fact a 100-headed beast, yet no more than 3 of his heads can be perceived at any one time. No one really knows what could happen when Cerberus and his shades have well and truly crossed over into the lands of the living, only that when souls flow out, other must flow in, and that wherever the Hound is, hell is there too. Revel in Death becomes more powerful as a battlefield becomes more chaotic, so Dark Elf energy here. Feeding from the energy of the newly stocked underworld and the souls of his prey. Fires of Phlegathon. Large fiery explosions straight from the river Phlegathon that can scour enemies and destroy their armor. Summon Shades. There are always more dead, and Cerberus can bring them into the battlefield as he grows in power and becomes used to his place on the battlefields of mortals. This ability will increase in strength and power of the units it brings forward. Howl of the Underworld, demoralizing for all. The Underworld stakes its claim on all mortal souls and tells them that they will die, perhaps sooner than later. Man, I can already imagine trying to combo this Revel in Death, Summon Shades, with Dardania. Pulling an Aeneas Cerberus combo is like John Cena and The Undertaker versus whoever. I don't know. I don't have enough rabble mobs. Can I also have zombies? My god. Like, when all of your expendable units die, then you boost up your Revel in Death, and then Fires of Phlegathon all over. This is nuts. Out into the sunlit world, Cerberus is made uneasy by souls still attached to their bodies, and will ensure the proper balance is restored. The more souls he sends back to Hades, the more could cross over. Made useful as shade labor, increasing productivity through their tireless, uncomplaining effort. Of course, some shades are better suited to bloodier work, though many of them would come to the battlefield angry and confused and therefore little more than fodder. Some step out from the fields of Elysium, where only true warriors roam, and are capable of humbling any living soldier. Yes, please. Souls, the powers from his connection to the underworld and his power over the souls of the dead. Some new resources that is gathered from winning battles and Cerberus agent actions, as well as generated by unique Cerberus-specific buildings. Shade Cerberus' unique units are dead themselves. They are recruited instantly and have no upkeep or replenishment. They require the Souls resource to bring to your side. Oh, okay. Shade Labor, a unique edict that increases resource production for all settlements in a province while locking happiness at 0. Pit of Hades. This building passively generates souls as well as allowing the recruitment of shades and the use of the Shade Labor Edict. Post-battle options. Unlucky captives may be offered up to Hades to generate more souls. Cerberus can also individually attack a garrison or army to reap rewards for his master. And here's the shades. Wretched shades. Spear and shield. Looks like light infantry. Marksmen of Elysium. Shade archers. By the power of Cerberus, they return to destroy the living with expert aim and deadly ghostly arrows. Spearmasters of Elysium. Yeah, legendary warriors, one and all. They will enter a rage on the battlefield, expending their time back amongst the living for even more power. And giant shades. Fiercest ghosts of the underworld return to re-wreak havoc on armies the world over. Like their three-headed guard, they revel in battle, powering up as more death feeds the underworld. It is extremely difficult to gain a quick advantage over Cerberus and his forces in battle. Shades will never break, and the more bodies litter the battlefield, the more unstoppable the wave of bloodthirsty undead becomes. In time, Cerberus' victory becomes as inevitable as every mortal's descent to the shores of the Styx. The greatest guardian in Greek myth is best employed by the hero who looks to hold the line until the very end, then returning from the abyss to do it again. Mythic expedition for Cerberus will, unsurprisingly, take you to the very threshold of the underworld. The journey there will make you follow in the footsteps of myth and meet with obstacles both mundane and divine. Okay, so this is the Troy Steam Release FAQ. The Heroic Edition gets you Troy, the upcoming Mythos DLC, and the existent Amazons and Ajax and Diomedes DLC, all for 40% off. Grab it here. What's the cost on that going to be? Let's find out. Okay, so the Heroic Edition is going to cost $56.98. Standard edition of the game is $50. That's a steal right there, guys. The Ajax and Diomedes DLC, when it came out, was like a $10 DLC. You can argue and say that it should have only been worth $5. So we're talking the cost of the base game and the Ajax and Diomedes DLC, but you also get Mythos and Amazons. I think that's a pretty phenomenal deal. I think that feels like the value, and I would definitely take advantage of that. Okay, let's go back. What about Blood and Glory DLC? For age rating related reasons, we can't offer the Blood and Glory DLC as part of a pack with the main game. However, you can purchase it separately once the game is out. What else? And that has sliders for those of you who are interested, as well as the ability to toggle whether or not the blood fills the rivers and things like that. What else is on offer? There's also the Mythic Edition, which includes the base game and Mythos at 30% off. Base game is available 25% off. Yep. Yes, although as with all our pre-order deals, they will last until after launch. In this case, you will have until the end of September to pick it up. So if you still don't want to, throw your money on this, you think it's still a gamble, you can wait until after the September. Usually it's the day before for the review embargo. So September 1st, you could wait until September 1st to see what reviews are, or you can wait until September 2nd and see what people you know and think who might have the game, what they're doing. How does this affect me if I own the game on Epic? It basically doesn't, other than we have the new Mythos DLC coming out. However, if you wish to own the game on Steam, you need to buy it separately. Can I play multiplayer with other people who bought and owned the game on a different store? Please, please, please. I haven't read it yet. Please, 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 please. We're currently planning to implement and support cross-platform multiplayer between Epic Games Store and Steam. We're planning on it still. That's exactly what they said a year ago. They're still planning to. Also, things that are still in the works. Apparently, Troy multiplayer right now on Epic Games Store is still in beta. It's been out for almost a year. Still in beta. I'm sorry. I'm already thinking ahead to September. It's not been out for almost a year. The multiplayer was added, I want to say like September or October. No, it was November. Oh my god. So yeah, it's been like half a year. Still in beta. Still in beta. There's no difference. Where can I pre-order? Why can't I pre-order on Steam? Oh, as the original release of Total War Saga Troy is already available for purchase elsewhere, Valve chose not to list the game for pre-order on its Steam storefront. This doesn't affect your ability to pre-order a Steam version of the game, however. Pre-order from our store, and the game will appear in your Steam library after purchase. Okay, I feel like this is probably going to cause a lot of confusion, and will need to be repeated to as many people as you can. So if you're still watching right now, you're now burdened with this knowledge. And you need to help me answer this question that's going to come up a lot. Why can't I pre-order it yet? 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 This is why. Because it was already out elsewhere, Valve decided that they couldn't offer it up for pre-order. And if you want to pre-order, just go straight to... where do they say? From their store. And I think possibly also... You might be able to pick it up through content creators' storefronts as well. I don't have one. I know Linksy does. Maybe Gaming Rambles? Admiral Price had one, but he's since retired from YouTube. So yeah, you can always check out to see your favorite content creators, see if they have a storefront available to pre-order the game from. But if you want to pre-order it for Steam, you got to do it through Total War's page. Can I wishlist on Steam? Indeed you can. Here's the Steam page. You can also wishlist the DLCs if you like. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Am I forgetting anything? Alright, I've got a ton of notifications from people who are like, what's going on, Appius? What's going on? Oh, man. Okay, I've actually just been contacted by somebody from CA. I can't tell you what we're talking about. No. Yeah, the Troy Total War Discord right now is blowing up. There's so much conversation going on right now. Alright. So, I don't think I've missed anything else. This looks like everything. Man, oh man. This is good stuff, guys. I'm excited about this. I'm very excited about this. I feel great. I'm so glad that they decided to keep the truth behind the myth and give us historical mode and mythos mode. Like, that was the right thing to do. Before we even knew what it was, that was the right thing to do. I need speculations on what each of the gods' abilities are going to be in battle. Zeus's lightning bolt, tidal waves of Poseidon. Do I get to summon Ares to the battlefield for like 30 seconds? That would be dope. Artemis buffs all of your archers. Apollo turns on the sun. Aphrodite boosts your morale? Yeah, comment below. Tell me what each of the gods' abilities is going to be in battle. Because that's my next big question. This is crazy, all of the new units we're getting. Holy cow. Alright, I've spoken enough. I've got to get this uploaded as soon as I can. This trailer's already been out for 40 minutes, so... that means I've been recording that long. Alright, ta-ta, I love you all. See you guys in the next video.